are good. I wish I could use go that well.
Kitten, wearing ribbons, hides his claws beneath his mittens. He leaves the mice scratched and bitten, and returns to bed, less hungry kitten. You've been a naughty little mouse, Lorne. You've made a lot of noise, and a lot of dates. I see. I am inclined to believe you. I was promised a mouse who smells of liquor. You are one who smells of blood. If it is Lorne's blood, this is a good thing. It is one more name from the list. Not your concern. There are names, and they must be scratched off. A gold coin is too round to square this debt. For now, this cat will take a nap. It does not like long hours. Prefers to wake up as the sun goes down. But I am sure we will meet again.
Moment I'm out of sight, get yourself a nice old rich husband, have 16 babies.
Before you is the enemy horde. Lust, with her soft.
Need something?
Greed, with its false shine. I draw my blade against these false idols. I vanquish them with my will. I know this. for I am you. I have languished in the deep waters of sin. I have made mistakes and made them a part of who I am. The more I struggled, the further I descended. I thought I would never again.
Yes. I want to have the cages moved outside. You know what makes us move? They're howling so sad.
Don't know how to break it to you, boss. Viola's been dead for weeks.
Nonsense. She's simply tired. You'll be back to your old self in no time, won't you, girl?
So you want us to move the cages? It'll make it awfully hard to bring the wolves into the pit.
Yes. I mean, maybe. See, if the wolves can be tunneled further first. If not, we have no choice but to move them outside. Ah, you must be Lord. I was told to expect you, and here you are. You're much taller in person, sharper as well. My Viola had eyes like you once, when she was a cub. My daughter, she's lost a lot of her vigor in recent weeks. She's normally out there, mingling with the crowd. But you know that. I understand you're quite the gambler, and you have a debt that must be paid. That's how I knew who you were, without ever having met you. I knew you were Lorne the moment our eyes met. Are you a godly woman, Lorne? And I don't mean 8 or 9 or whatever gold gods the Forsworn worship. What I mean is, do you believe there is a purpose to tragedy? Do you believe the future is paved through the gods' design and not our
The
whim?
Hagravens traded in their humanity for access to powerful magics. I'm astonished that they didn't want eternal beauty on the list of powers.
Which makes you the perfect instrument. When Viola took ill, I was left with an unenviable choice. Curse the gods who did this, to
Wouldn't
blame
it be
myself
nice to just talk
for
a little
neglecting
to you
her.
and I?
Perhaps I owed her more time, and this is the price of my debt. I was searching for an answer when I started combing through the books. I found a client named Lorne, whose debts were so egregious they could only be paid with blood. And I knew then that whatever the reason, whether it be design or whim, the solution was the same. It is no coincidence that you are who you are. The gods brought us together so that you may pay my debt. For what I want isn't gold or blood. It's a wolf. This wolf used to be one of my best fighters. I favored him. So did Viola. The two were inseparable. But a feral animal is not a pet. One day it bit her, and I had no choice but to release him back into the wild. Meanwhile, Viola had taken ill. An infection, they say. I don't know if she'll recover. I should have killed him. I know now for my Viola to have peace. This wolf must die. That part is irrelevant to you. All that matters is that you have a debt, and I am offering a way for you to pay it. But if that is not enough of a carrot, then consider this. Do this for me. I'll give you a night with Daedra on the house. The orcs keep to themselves. The Earl's men do the same, provided we keep them satisfied. It was born from my love of wolves. The wolf is a fierce but graceful creature, with a beauty far superior to any man.
This beauty is most evident when the wolf is in motion, attacking its prey. It is pure poetry. The same is true of my servers. The men and women here dress the way they do to celebrate the beauty of the physical form. If a patron wishes to pay to see this form in motion, I will not deny him this pleasure. I only wish to watch my wolves bare their fangs. This temple of sin is a byproduct of that desire. I'm afraid I don't know who that is. Brother Renmar is our best customer. The men tolerate his speeches, but welcome his advice.
Look over there. A new wolf rug.
You don't scare me. You can do, huh?
Mercy. You're as good as dead. You are nothing but a stupid milk taker.
You don't scare me.
done, Lorne. Well done. I can already see my daughter is starting to perk up. Oh, now that he has his soul, RK will not take hers. My debt is settled, as is yours. You lack faith, Lorne. It's not unusual for people who have been kicked around as much as we have. Yet I assure you, it is nothing more than a test. Have faith, and you will be rewarded. The gods, after all, rewarded me with you. But I shouldn't keep you. You must be eager to see Daedra. Here, take the key to her chambers, and a little something extra for the pits.
And what might you need?
Over here, gorgeous. Let me get a good look at you. You are quite lovely. I think I'll enjoy our time together. Name your pleasure, Sarah, and discover it for the first time. Love, passion, desire. Only through this body will you experience them as they were meant to be. I think you're the type who likes to roleplay. You wear different masks because you know not your own face, nor your own desire. Only I know what you truly desire. You chase the flesh of another, a dead man like the one before you, and the one before him.
Clearly she was wrong. Yeah,
I'm in the
I do
business of
think she
knowing.
meant well.
Everything you've done here, you've done for a reason. Your eyes tell me the rest. Some say I lead people astray. They say I make people betray their spouses, when all I really do is allow you to be true to yourself. It's obvious. You desire Lorne, who wanted Elandir, who thought only of another. Like all patrons, you tell me your secrets, and I show you mine. But the one you seek is a ghost, for that man denied my offering, and only the dead earn that distinction.
My mom always
A
said that I
man
should stay
blinded
away
by
from
his
girls
desire
like
to
you.
teach.
But I can't
He
say I
loved his
agree with
pupil,
her.
and failed to see the Daedra in the darkness. Elandir lived a long life, and so have I. It's not uncommon for those who cling to darkness to share the same shadow. I knew him like I know all my patrons. Intimately. Lorne was like you. His desire blossomed from the seed of the dead, a journal written by Elandir Darksteel. He followed the trail here, for the final echoes of any man, whether they be spoken by tongue or quill, will always whisper my name. I told him what I told Elandir, and what I will tell you. A dead man will never bring you pleasure. Elandir took my advice. He abandoned his brothers and gave me his diary as proof. Yet Lorne persisted. I offered him my body. He wanted the book. Men are always finding new ways to disappoint you. He was still wearing that smile a week later when he gave me this key. It's a face I know all too well. I don't know how Lorne died, But I know Ilandir experienced pleasures few will ever know. It remains to be seen whether you will know the same.
We'll handle things from here. Move along.
Oh. What happened?
I hope there aren't any more. I said move along. We have everything under control. Stay out of it.
Oh, you're here. And just in time. Someone was murdered right in front of the guard.
Lightly armored means light on your feet. Smart.
And look at the way he's dressed. Remind you of anyone? Something tells me if we took off his gloves, one of his fingers would be painted black. I don't know, but there's some one-eyed man living at the skeever I've never seen before. I was about to confront him when the commotion started. I'm sure he had something to do with this. It's no coincidence the murder happened after he showed up. Well, I don't know. It was worth a shot. I didn't notice him until the other day, and he looked awfully suspicious walking into the skeever. I suppose it wasn't much of a lead, but maybe we'll find some clues at the end.
The winking skeever.
One of the guards said he saw a mage appear out of thin air. Claimed it was one of those Sijic monks. Man's been hitting the skooma, I say.
Just a kitten who has had his toys taken away for the second time. This mouse was my kill. But again, the half-cat beat me to it.
You know you can afford a
The red guard with the yellow eyes is a selfish one. She does not share the yarn with the rest of the litter.
Yellow eyes? It couldn't be.
Oh, but it's true. She has taken every name on the list so far. It's just like the days in the Dark Brotherhood. That is why I am in need of your help.
It's not much to ask.
For you see, while I may have left the guild, we are still assassins by trade. And the cat cannot eat without killing the mouse. Many moons ago. You see, once, we were many. When the listener died, it was Astrid who realized the Night Mother is not the only one who speaks. When word of mouth reached us, we lent it our ears. It was not long before the guild was thriving once more. But if anyone can be a listener, then there is no need for a guild. We can all go into business for ourselves. Nobody knows. She came to Falkreath wearing the armor and answered the door. She took the contracts that should have been mine. I thought I was rid of her when I left the Dark Brotherhood, but still she steals my mice. No, it won't help. She will likely be dressed in the robes of the Dark Brotherhood, so all you will see is her eyes. This is how you will know her. She prowls like a cat, has claws like a cat, and has eyes like a cat. Thus, she is a cat, even though she is not. I make no secret of it. I despise the girl. She has always bested me, always made the hardest jobs look so easy. It's only her personality that truly pins my tail. She never takes credit for anything. I have dealt with braggarts, but this false humility, it is the worst kind of arrogance. Then perhaps it is time for you to hear my proposal. This is not my business to know. We are provided a list of names, bounties written by everyday citizens, and besides each name is a price in gold. That list tripled in size in the past month, as did the rewards. An alliance. I will give you the names, and you will save their lives, so that I can kill them myself at a later time. I can see you are much stronger than I am, and more importantly, not as attached to your pillow. Normally, I can take my time, but that yellow-eyed bitch, she's too much. She never takes a break.
Don't think you can barter with me like one of those damn shopkeepers.
I am not asking you to help an assassin. I am asking you to save a life. At least temporarily.
It will be permanent if we kill you as well.
Yes, but the list has many names. If you kill me after I divulge one, you will still be responsible for the others. In any case, we are wasting our time by talking. The Afghan is already on the prowl.
Blast! What do you think? I don't trust this one, but he's our only lead. Enemy of my enemy. Sometimes it's hard to tell which side we're fighting on. Still, finding the murderer should be our next goal, and hopefully that will lead us to whoever contracted them. Alright, we'll bite. Who's next on the list?
A Breton man in Markarth named Krilo. 1,000 gold for this one. The girl is working from the bottom up. She is no fool. She knows the others will go for the highest contract first. It is clearly the hardest.
Fine. We can take a carriage there or use the roads, but we should hurry.
You know you can afford a septim or two.
Go on, I will be here. I would come with you, but she will recognize me and blow your cover. Also, my back is very sore.
That's probably him at the bar, the Breton with the glove.
Seat by the fire, and I'll send someone over.
There you are. You're a bold assassin to confront me in public, although I was told to expect someone else. A Redguard woman with the eyes of a feline. Either way, it seems I'm quite the catch. But with our temple gone, I have more of a stake in staying alive. It's not uncommon for the Chosen to run in darker circles. Our skills, after all, are valued by those who work in secret. I know there's a contract on my head, and I know there's little I can do about it.
Well, my partner and I are here to help. And that means you're going to live a long life and die old and grey.
Well, that's good news. An old fool like myself welcomes whatever help he can get. The brothers have always been chosen for their ability to work alone. They'll continue to work and thrive. Some may even choose disciples and dress their fingers in shadow, like my wife did with me. But it will be for nostalgia's sake. There won't be any oaths to swear or any afterlife waiting for us. The thing that bonded us, that made us brothers, that's all gone. Believe it or not, it was my wife who chose me. But that's not as strange as the story of how we met. You see, I used to be a member of the Forsworn.
I thought the Forsworn wield dual weapons. The males, anyway.
True. They raise all the pillagers to fight that way. But I was so right-hand dominant, I never even bothered with my left.
So how did you meet?
Unlike my husband
was
Clever,
contracted
I
to
watch
kill
after
Brian.
our guests.
I was sworn to defend him. Not that I did a good job of it. In fact, I'd be dead if I hadn't gone outside that night. I used to have trouble sleeping, and this night was no exception. I went outside to piss and have a drink, and I returned just in time to see her snatch our leader's heart right out of his chest. I guess the ending isn't much of a surprise, but to this day I still don't know what I was thinking, trying to sneak up on a professional. Oh, I got about 10 paces behind her when she swiveled around and came at me.
What happened next?
We dueled for about 5 minutes, blade to blade. I actually might have bested her, but we were both fighting with one hand behind our backs. Of course, when it came to our offhands, only one of us knew how to use it.
So she used magic on you.
That's right. An ice spell, just to slow me down. Or maybe it was a fear spell. Whatever it was enough. She disarmed me and put the blade to my neck. I closed my eyes, but she didn't kill me. She asked where I learned to sneak. I told her I taught myself, and she said, "No wonder you're so bad at it." But then she lifted that finger, the one dressed in black, and bade me to follow. She chose me, she taught me, and she loved me. And from that day forward, my eyes have always been open, but I have no trouble falling asleep. Theft, assassination, and smuggling. We work independently for the most part, but it's forbidden to act against the interests of a brother. The Thieves' Guild uses shadow marks to know friend from foe. We use the blackened finger and the chain of the chosen. If we're unsure about a job, we can appeal to the ones who chose us, and they can appeal to a higher rank, all the way up to Varian Darksteel himself. Before, we had Wanderer's Rest. All those who have delivered the dead can return to the temple. Now, who knows? Criminals, brigands, corsairs. We did things that violated the laws of mortals. But But men have always been a poor judge of character. I can't speak for all of us, but Varian built this brotherhood on the idea that whoever we cheat, rob, or kill is someone who deserves it. When you make your choice of successor, these are the kind of things you have to consider. No. I had an apprentice once, younger than the hair on my chin, and greener than a sailor's teeth. Needless to say, he never amounted to much. At the time, I was worried I wouldn't have anyone to bear my corpse. Never did I imagine I wouldn't have anywhere to bury it. Very well. She's gone. Passed away not long ago. She always talked about how we'd spend eternity at Wanderer's Rest. Now I can only hope that wherever our spirits end up, we'll be in the same place. As a matter of fact, there was one, but he was no brother. He was a knight, investigating the murder of a dark elf in the Grey Quarter. He tried to warn me, just as you did, and I gave him a similar reply. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to get some fresh air.
Fine, so long as you don't mind us following you.
Not in the slightest.
I suppose you won't do us a favor and stand against the wall.
That would defeat the purpose of being outside, my lady. I'm going for a nice, leisurely...
What do you need, Mom?
I just want to let you know I don't like being out in the open like this.
Oh, relax. You can't stop living just because a handful of people is dead. Now, most people say to truly appreciate this city, you need to get a better view. And to get a better view, you first have to climb stairs. I like to stand up on the banister there and watch people go to and from market.
And leave your back completely exposed? But why? Unless Shore's bones, you're baiting her.
Of course, the way Markarth is constructed, there's only one way out of the city. There are a lot of tourists.
Stay out of trouble, Imperial.
Without the river to fall in, it makes for a tough jump. It's a risky plan, and we still need to clear
Fancy
the top
yourself an
level for
alchemist, huh?
archers.
Never could get the hang of that.
My lady, I'm just out here for a walk. The same walk I take every day at 10 in the morning.
So the old man set up a routine, which likely means our assassin has studied it. We should come back tomorrow and keep a close eye on him. I'll get up early and make sure the high ground is clear. You should stay on the same level, but not too close. It looks like there's a shaded area right in front of the Temple of Talos, and also the stairs going up to the second level. Either will do. In any case, if that's all settled, I'm going back to the inn to rest up for tomorrow. Hopefully this assassin will take the bait.
Now, I know you've come by for more than just a visit. What did you bring?
The finest jewelry in all of Markarth. Hail, companion. Yes, Dovahkiin. How can I help you?
Here we go!
I'll try and make these quick.
Real assassin.
You two go on ahead. We can't escape that way.
There she is. We've got her now. Nazreen! Curses, traps everywhere. But she can't hide from us.
Forget it. She's already gone now that she got what she came for.
You've got some explaining to do, Nazreen. What are you doing here?
Faber Henry, I had thought at the very least I could kill the two of you. But it seems I am the one to lose. This game of cat and mouse.
That assassin we killed, was he yours?
No, the half-cat. She must have used him to throw me out. Once I saw it wasn't her, I realized my mistake and ran for cover, and walked right into her trap.
Nazreen, I have to ask. This assassin with the yellow eyes, is her name Salim?
Stupid Nord. Don't ask questions when you already know the answer.
You better get back. If this is another misdirection, chasing this trail could end up getting Credo killed. I want to search these ruins. If there's a chance she's still hiding here, I don't want to leave her behind again. Go check on Credo, I'll be fine.
And so our heroes live to see another day. Well, then I suppose we have society to thank for teaching us how to behave in the face of danger. Of course, having the tools to defend yourself is every bit as important. Maybe you can make use of this one, just as I have. Now, how did everything go in there? I notice we seem to be one short. That girl has an obsessive streak about her. Obsession can be your best friend and your worst enemy, depending on how you use it. Well, some say the Dark Brotherhood has never killed a soul. The same goes for our assassin. Because the real killer is the one who puts out the contract. I actually enjoy playing this game. But the elf who came to warn me, a Dunmer named Erevan, he was quite serious about putting a stop to it. A real paragon of virtue, that one. As uptight as he was brave. I would meet him in Windhelm, follow the trail from there.
When I was in Cyrodiil, I used to come to the Chapel of Arkay every morning and listen to the hymns. I wasn't alone. Hearing that chorus of children gave people the resolve they needed to face the day. But for me, it gave me something else. It gave me something to aspire to. Except right now, I feel neither resolve nor aspiration. I feel nostalgic. You may be right. The white rose is but a memory, but its seed has blossomed into something new. See the girl by the altar? In the past year, she's lost a brother in the war, a cousin to illness, and her grandfather to time. She seems frail, powerless, and yet she continues to move forward with her life, while promising never to forget the ones that she left behind. To think it took all my strength to shoulder such a burden, when for her it seems weightless. Yes, it seems many of the more corrupt lords in this realm have grown frustrated with the Black Sacrament. They've started hiring independent contractors, and whenever the demand for something rises, there has to be a way to connect it with the supply. In this case, it's taken the form of a powerful broker, one who collects and distributes bounties on behalf of the lords. The old man didn't tell you, did he? It was back when I was in Kynesgrove, trying to live up to the name of the Knight of Thorns. As I was wont to do, I got into an argument with the band of sellswords. I poured beer over the head of the leader, all but daring him to kill me. The mercenaries drew their swords, but then the old man walked over, put his arm around my shoulder, and proceeded to drench the both of us in ale. He laughed, and everyone joined him. And then he bought us all around. I thanked him later for saving me from the mercenaries. And that's when he told me,
I saved you from yourself.
I'd like to say I'm doing this as a favor to him, but perhaps I'm wrong in this regard as well. Your timing is quite auspicious. There is a gathering tonight at Viola Giordano's estate. Rumor has it that our broker will be in attendance. This may be our chance to discover his identity. but it calls for a more subtle approach than brandishing one's sword. If I were to play the role once more, I could be an asset, but I vowed never to be anyone but myself.
Erevan, all these benches and you're the only one who's ever here. I'm beginning to wonder if it's me that's driving them away.
Elasia, any man who finds your voice displeasing has not the capacity to listen.
Will you hear me perform at my aunt's tonight? I'll be disappointed if you say no.
Of course, my lady. It would be rude of me not to.
And you've proven quite incapable of rudeness. Not at all like the lewd, rancorous Knight of Thorns I've been warned about. But I suppose lies never care who tells them, so long as someone is naive enough to listen. And who, may I ask, is your friend?
An accomplished warrior, my lady. Now I was just about to inquire whether she would attend the party as well.
Oh, you must attend. Anyone who's anyone will be there. Splendid! You won't be disappointed. I know all the older favorites, like the Maiden Fair from Hadleyshire and even Mogo's Mead. I can tell you're a fan of music. Or a fan of mead. Either way, there will definitely be plenty of both. In any event, I need to go rehearse. I'll see you two tonight then.
Until then, my lady. Viola dislikes dark elves, but thanks to Elasia's persistence, she tolerates my presence. Still, we should do our best to remain discreet. Now, as far as the broker is concerned, I've thought of a way we can discover his identity without resorting to theft or violence. Here, this is a correspondence between our broker and Maven Blackbriar. It mentions dates and other information that will rule out some of the attendees as suspects, while casting suspicion on others. Learning his identity is good enough for now. We don't want to expose him until we know if he keeps the city guard in his employ. When the murders began to rise, the Nightblade and Markarth sent me this letter. Supposedly, he had stolen it from Blackbriar Lodge. I do. Yes, people will always have the motivation to do harm to others. Sometimes they're nothing more than passing thoughts. The difference is now there is a means to transform these emotions into violent acts. One that does not require a pact with Sithis. The broker is a weapon. Remove him, and all that's left are the motives. Be sure to study the missive. Hopefully, between the two of us, we'll be able to work out who the broker is.
Good to see you. Come on in.
What is it? He was 3 years younger, and I practically raised him. Sometimes I feel like I lost a son. He was a skald, singing songs of battle and glory to motivate the soldiers, and playing the drums when they marched. I don't know exactly how he died, but I know he's the reason I play. But I don't sing to glorify war. I want to honor the fallen and the mothers who weep for them. And what better way than to sing for peace? Well, I don't know everyone here, but Bethany has a weakness for Mogul's meat. Rogstad doesn't drink, but just don't insult him and he'll open up eventually.
This war has
Grenia loves current events. If you told him you were to attack at Kynesgrove, or better yet Helgen, I'm sure he'd swoon. Alright.
I did see something interesting not long ago.
A mage, believe it or not. Music was more of a hobby. I spent most of my life preparing to train at the college. Just not the one I ended up at. But I'm still pretty handy with a spell, so don't get on my bad side. I know people say it's cold and lonely, but we look out for each other. The Dunmer don't always think so, but a lot of us really do care.
There's nobody to hunt down the bandits.
My aunt's a bit eccentric, but we get along. I've just returned from the Bard's College, so we've got a little catching up to do.
Well, I did.
But from what I've been told, she loves this butcher business more than an alchemist would consider healthy. Well, that and Captain Lonelygale. I'm just glad they're not one and the same. It's a song I wrote for my brother. It's called Gone with the Snow. Alright, let me know if you have any requests. What would you like me to play?
This war has taken a toll on the merchants of Skyrim. Let's hope that it ends soon for their sake.
You speak truly. Have you heard any interesting rumors of late?
A good request.
I'm not
a
sure
legend we all know and love.
Lately, it seems like every blacksmith in Skyrim is out to prove that he's the equal of Yorland Greymane. It's not really a fair comparison, if you ask me. After all, Yorland works the Skyforge. How is any smith going to compete with that?
The dragonborn comes with a voice wielding power of the ancient Nord art. Believe, the dragonborn comes. It's an end to the evil of all Skyrim's foes. Beware, beware, the dragonborn comes. For the darkness is past and the legend yet grows. You'll know, the dragonborn's come.
It's been a brutal winter. I can't remember the last time it was this cold and for this long.
I know just what you mean. Heard anything interesting lately? Any news?
I'm all ears.
I heard those mages up in Winterhold have been trying to figure out how many dragons there are in Skyrim. They seem to think it's at least a dozen, but I'm sure they're exaggerating. They're trying to scare us into giving them more money and influence, so they can save us from the dragon's threat.
Who hasn't? It's adequate. Although I was told certain dignitaries would be here, all of whom are conspicuously absent. They should have known better than to trust Viola. At least her niece's singing is pleasant enough. I'm a family friend. I was good friends with Viola's husband, and ever since he passed, I've been even better friends with her. What about you? I haven't seen you around before. How do you know the Jordanos? Of course. She has so many it's hard to keep track. Last time I think a fourth one showed up. Tomorrow it'll be a Draugr. Of course. I like to consider myself a connoisseur of politics. I like to know who despises whom and why. If you can predict who will make alliances, you can predict who wins the war. Knowing that helps in everything, from buying a house to choosing a religion. I'm an advisor. I examine business contracts to ensure my clients aren't getting taken advantage of. Other times I'm asked to write up a sufficiently complicated contract to make sure someone does get taken advantage of.
For this long.
It's adequate. They should have known better than to trust Viola. At least her nieces sing. I'm a family friend. What about you? I have... Of course. She has so many, it's hard to keep... I support them. All of them. It's like that old Bosma riddle. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but I believe it's something like this. They gathered in the darkness of a moonless mirror. Their bodies a dance of fire in the ocean of time. What is war but a reflection of past and future? What is bloodshed but one more dance in the fire to remind us we're truly alive? In the long term, war is a good thing. It builds character, it helps commerce, and it gives us stories to pass down to our children.
But I'm sure they're exaggerating. They're probably trying to scare us into giving them more money and influence, so they can save us from the dragon's threat.
I did. It goes to show we can't rely on the city guard. Sometimes we have to take matters into our own hands.
I hope they'll serve the roast venison with bitter green sauce that we had at the last party. That was
You, I
delicious.
believe, but the Dark Elf. Isn't he the Knight of Thorns? I heard he was a drunken lech. I bet he hired you to do the fighting for him and took all the credit. There's people like that, you know. Professional assassins.
But I'm sure they're exaggerating.
I am. I missed the last one when I had to travel to Riften on business.
They can save us from the dragon's threat.
No, I went with my husband. Although it's hard to tell the difference, given he acts like he's been gelded. In fact, I've been calling him my sickly little housewife since the day we got married. So I suppose that's why everyone thinks I married a woman. I am. I missed the last one when I had to travel to Riften on... I'm there every month. I sell and trade goods from all the holds.
After all, Eorland works the Skyforge.
I am. I missed the last one when I had to travel... I don't know about that. I just drink my mead.
Strange.
My husband, though, he likes exotic drinks.
Venison with bitter green sauce that we had at the
Or
last party.
should I say,
That was
my
delicious.
wife. The way he acts, you'd think he's been gelded.
By the way, have you heard any interesting rumors lately?
Well, I did see something interesting not long ago. There were several Khajiit camped outside the walls of Whiterun. Seems they've been traveling around the whole of Skyrim peddling their wares.
Yes?
You've got to admire their courage, doing something like that with
My family made its fortune in exporting lumber. My dad helped me smuggle it to Valenwood during the
How
embargo.
are we doing over here?
The Emperor won't like to
Everything is
hear it,
splendid, thank you.
but he doesn't have a right to
Thanks.
judge us. Not after he outlawed Talos worship. As far as I'm concerned, we're even.
Guess I'm just being silly.
I'm glad you asked. I actually collect antique arrowheads. It all started after I saw the one the Silvernar gave my dad. It's my one passion.
Yes, I agree.
Not since the war started. The roads are too dangerous. On the other hand, so's my wife.
Was supposed to be singing and telling
I
tales
face
all
a
the time.
dozen bandit
But
hordes
I
in here
rarely
complain
hear
that I
you
never
sing,
take her anywhere.
And you aren't half as talkative as I.
It's been a brutal...
I wish I were there now, as cold as it is. My wife would probably send us further north.
I know just what you mean.
She wants to go to Radiant Raiment, never mind the fact that her wardrobe is close to bursting.
Well, I did see something interesting not long
Of course. Is there food? Yes. Is there music? Certainly. Are there fine ladies to dance with? Absolutely.
You've got to admire their courage. Doing something like that with dragons on the loose and a war going on?
Yes, hard to imagine her and her aunt are related. I've heard harpies who could carry a tune better than Viola.
Of course. Is there...
Yes, hard to imagine her and her aunt.
It's so good
Of
to
course.
be here,
Is there...
together with you.
Oh, I am.
How are
20
we doing over
long
here?
years with my Ingrid.
Everything is splendid.
But while
thank
my
you.
body's been gelded, my
Thanks.
imagination is free to run wild. Of course, is. Oh, I've chosen to abstain from drinking spirits out of respect for our host. I tend to get violent when I drink.
Dangerous of late.
I know just what you mean. Heard anything interesting lately? Any news or gossip?
I heard those mages up in Winterhold have been trying to figure out how many dragons there are in Skyrim. They seem to think it's at least a dozen, but I'm sure they're exaggerating. They're probably trying to scare us into giving them more money and influence, so they can save us from the dragon's threat.
Yes, sweetheart. Is there anything I can do for you?
It's been a brutal winter.
It's adequate. They should have known better than to trust Viola. Oh, to think,
Aren't you
she's
ever
grown so
afraid
much since she was a little babe running around Candlehearth Hall. A shame what happened to her brother.
I am.
Are you a friend of the Giordano family?
To die. Especially not now when I am so happy.
They seem to think it's at least a
Yes,
dozen.
it does. But not to me. It was probably a last year anyway. The girl counts all of Skyrim in her circle of friends. Of course.
I hope they'll serve the roast venison with bittergreen sauce that we had at the last party. That was delicious.
I know just what you mean. Heard anything interesting lately? Any news or gossip?
Well, I did hear that the Argonians have been banned from living inside
Good
the
work.
walls of Windhelm.
Who do you suspect?
They're only allowed on the city docks now. Most of them sleep together in one building, and there is...
The advisor is as slippery as he is educated. He definitely fits the profile. I'll speak to the steward and see if I can learn more. Given my history, I'm a bit tentative about making any accusations until we're sure. In the meantime, I'd like you to follow him once the party is concluded. We can meet back at the corner club when we're finished.
Brutal winter. I can't remember the last time it was this cold and for this long.
I couldn't have said it better myself. It's been some time since I've had...
It'll just be a moment. I'll find you when I'm done.
What have you heard?
Have you visited Rorikstead lately? No matter how harsh the winter, the crops that grow there never falter. Even when every other farm in the hold is barely scraping by, the harvest at
What's on your mind, sweetheart? I dare say Adelesia Ventici of the East Empire Company is quite a bit tougher than she looks.
What?
Huh?
What am I going to do?
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. A letter. Not sure who from. He wouldn't say, just that he was a friend of yours. Looks like that's it. Got to go. Nope, sorry. Nothing.
So you've come. This is where we met, if you recall. Of course, I was the corpse then. Now those words have changed. After all, it's inevitable. Heroes always have their glimpses. Never smelling what lurks underground. You remind me of Virion in many ways. Powerful, arrogant, but ultimately a pawn. They used you. Those Daedric hags used the both of us to get to him. But it was a contract that I was more than willing to consent to. Boethia, Methala, and Azura. When I sought to steal their relic, they chose my own pupil as their retribution. But in the end, the boy couldn't kill me. His family of chosen were my sons and daughters, and so, by sending me to exile, he doomed them all. The Darksteel will tell you it was Azura's star, or the Ebony Mail, or some other dark relic of little consequence. No, it was a sword, a tribute from the Ashlanders who worship these Daedric hags. So why steal it? Well, it was never about the sword. It was about Virion's loyalty. Those Ashlanders were his kin, as was I. Because to defy a Daedric prince, I believed I had to first clear the board of his pawns. I thought they would use Virion's chosen against me, but now I see they wish to use the bearer of my corpse. One final betrayal. That was the bargain Boethia struck. She made me immortal, like a Daedric weapon caught to this realm. But there was a catch. Once Virion was dead, she vowed the Trinity would personally see to mine. I know their aspects guide you. You've met two of them already. Methala and her lust. Boethia and her treachery. But Azura, it's too late to say. Your life ends now. You think you've won, fool? But I can't be killed. I will return 1,000 times over. These hags can't undo the power of their own magic.
Are you all right? I was on my way to Candlehearth Hall when I saw you walk in here and I got curious. I didn't expect this. Were these men really trying to kill you? Really? You mean it? I admit I haven't cast a spell in ages, but it felt rather natural. Oh, I'm sure the city guard will handle it. We'll just tell them what happened, and they'll take care of it. People sometimes ask me about my accent. Yes, I'm an Imperial, but my father's a Nord, and Skyrim's my home, so my voice sometimes gets confused. Bards sing of our feats. Erevan!
I apologize for not arriving sooner. It appears obtaining an audience with the steward is far more difficult when you're a Dunmer. However, it seems your involvement goes deeper than just the broker. Not an easy task, seeing as it is already dead. Perhaps, as with the Oblivion Crisis, there may be a way to banish the unwanted from our realm. Then it would be wise to start with the shrine to the north. Incidentally, were you able to find anything on the broker? Nevertheless, this additional evidence should help solidify our case. Moreover, it appears we can eliminate his place of business as well. It appears Robber's refuge is in the opposite direction of Azura's shrine, but hopefully there's time for both.
Hold on, I'm coming too.
Elasia, my dear, while your company is welcome, I assure you the Dragonborn can handle this.
Oh, no you don't. You're not going to treat me like your precious little countess. That woman is somewhere in Chedenal. I've got a little more dirt under my fingernails.
All right, but make sure you stay out of harm's way.
See? Now that wasn't so hard, was it?
I think the statue of Azura is beautiful. She should be warmly dressed in this frozen environment.
This is an impressive shrine. Elandir never did it justice. In his writings, he called it a monument to all that is evil. Yet how can something so beautiful be the product of wickedness? Just a traveler, like you, but someone whose life has been influenced by the Dunmer gods in ways she can't begin to comprehend. So you've heard of him. He was a member of an ancient order of Nightblades, up until the moment he decided to betray them. He was a high elf, one of the first children, chosen by the Divines. The Nightblades worshipped Daedra. Some say that was enough. Yet the real reason lies in his writings. He was betrayed by his own heart. Ah, the name of the father. A once proud Nightblade, who was an old and feeble elf by the time Elandir found him. But I believe Daenerys is immortal, and he will rise again and again until the Trinity claim his soul. Alas, I gave most of them to a scholar named Lorne, all save one. I thought if I held on to it, it would protect my ancestor. Now I realize Elendil was a mortal unworthy of such a sacrifice. I once thought as Elendil did, but then I met a Khajiit monk, and he convinced me I may have erred. There are many like him who believe the Daedra are not necessarily evil, and the evidence seems to support that. The Trinity Blade, a Daedric weapon that embodies the will of the old Ashlander Trinity. Moreover, it's said to have an edge that can banish a wayward soul from this plane. I do not know, but I have a feeling it will find its way to the champion who will slay Daenerys. Perhaps that is you, and this journal will lead you to the end. But I should warn you, Elendil believed this quest to be ill-fated, that when you deal with Daedra, all roads are paved in bones. He may have been right. Perhaps if he continued on this path, he may have killed a Dunmer named Gildy, and perhaps I would have never been born. You see, Gildy never loved Elendil, but she loved his child. Daenerys is evil, but there are many evils in this world. Some may even be as beautiful as this shrine.
What is it?